everybody, and welcome back to the Lobotomy Corporation. Alrighty, so in this episode we have a new companion. Wonder Ark has joined our little corporation, and I'm sure he will survive for plenty of time to come. After all, we haven't had a single death yet, and I'm honestly quite shocked about that. So, what we need to do today, it's pretty simple. Actually, you know what? Oh, this is gonna suck. We need to take... Okay. We could do 2 quests in one day. The issue is we need to take so many people out of their departments, and I'm really not a huge fan of that. But it will be 2 quests done in a single fell swoop, rather than doing 2 days where, you know, it's just like no progress at all. So, well, minimal progress. So I'd rather just do like the one big day to do it. So I guess we may as well do it today. So we need to take 1 person out of control, 2 people out of safety, 1 person out of information, 2 people out of training, and then 1 person out of central command. So quite a few people are not going to be able to get any good progress today, which makes me wonder if we should potentially take out the level 5s. Which sounds scary. I'm very aware of that, how frightening that sounds, especially because against the Dusk event, we won't have very many defenses. But I think it should be okay. All of our people are looking relatively good. Myra still has a lot of work to be done. And, of course, Wonder Ark did get a little bit of a special intro bonus. After all, he's very good at what he does. And we can see that based on the increased stats. Especially because I was told by none other than... I'm gonna butcher your name, I'm sorry. Sania PH. Sania P. About what the titles actually do. So, I never knew this. I always thought the titles were nothing but cosmetic. But as it turns out, the titles actually give a stat bonus of sorts. Essentially, there's 2 parts to the title. For example, Kai's Draconian Comprehender. The first part gives a stat bonus to ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, and the second part gives a stat bonus to ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And that's why PK randomly got 1 point into Prudence, is because his title changed and gave him a stat bonus in Prudence. Which is, you know, out of all the things to happen, that is not the one I would have expected. But it's fine. So, what I think we need to do today is we're going to do the double quest. I don't know who we're going to take out of what department. I'm thinking we'll take some of the higher levels out. And then, you know, since we're doing 2 quests in one day, that is a lot more progress than just doing 1 quest and then a second quest. So, I don't know who we're going to take off, but we are going to take some people off. Also, I was going to hide Sleepy's dog ears. Cold-blooded veteran. Oh, the cold-blooded part. Very cool. So, because of the whole unintentional deepest lore that Sleepy may or may not be nothing there, I think the dog ears kind of count, or kind of like make sense. They're a very funny thing to add. Of course, if, you know, we don't have to keep the dog ears, but, you know, maybe just for this episode, we'll see how it goes. And obviously she will be using the mimicry set when the time comes, but I'm gonna take some people off. We'll see who I actually decide to do that on. I am thinking it's going to be our higher levels, but we'll see. Plus, this isn't going to be the longest day anyway, since we can only go to level 8 maximum. So, it'll be a short day, so I don't think it'll be, like, too bad of a thing to put people off, but, eh. Ah, yes, of course. The weird dog thing. Well, better do some attachment on it. Normally, I go inside is win side. However, this is a unique situation where it is a dog. Oh my god, is this thing an HE? No. Bob. Bob? Bob, I think. Reddened Buddy is waiting for his master. I mean, it's going pretty good. Reddened Buddy is shaking as if anxious. Yeah, I'm willing to say this has gone well. Unless this is a situation where we actually don't want to do well. I don't know. 6, 12. There we go. If FO435 is not present, Doggo will produce less PE boxes. Whenever FO435 talked about itself. Oh, okay. So, Master, if Master isn't present, Dog produces less energy. If Master is present, there is a very small chance that the Quick counter decreases. When employee Knox committed attachment work, there was a very low chance for the Quick counter to decrease. Ugh. That's not good. Hey, what's his Quip? Not low enough. Okay. Could have been worse. Now, I noticed he was dealing red damage. Maybe we can deal with instinct? You know what? Hang on, give me a minute. I want you three to come down here for no particular reason. Let's try something else. Ouch! Okay, so he deals a ton of red damage, considering this is an HE suit with 0. No. This is a No, it is an HE suit. With 0.5, and he still did a lot of damage. Okay. We don't have enough for another one. When the Quick counter hit 0, Reddened Buddy morphed into a wolf. If Master was present, it regenerated all injuries extremely quickly. If it eats an employee, dealing a... Oh. So he has the chance to eat someone, and if you do enough damage, he spits them back out. Huh. Okay, so here's something interesting. Is this Road Home's dog? Is this, Toto? Toto? I don't actually remember the dog's name. Toto? I think it's Toto. Regardless. That's kind of the sense I'm getting. I don't know that, but it seems likely. So, what I'm going to do, this might be a mistake, we're going to see how Wonder Arc does with Child of the Galaxy. What is the absolute highest we can go for? Literally none of it matters. Very cool. Okay, attachment it is. Hopefully it goes well. It went exceptionally well. I have literally no complaints about that. Next up, Maxwell. We need energy. Please go deal with nothing there. Sleepy continues to act very sus. They're not so different. Suppressing abnormalities and calling panic coworkers. Freaking Alpha and Gamma. They're like, bro, what'd you just say? What did you just say? What? You think suppressing an abnormality and killing one of us is largely the same? Really? Sleepy's just like, what? I said what I said. What a weird turn of events that has taken with Sleepy. But you know what? That's fine. Let's deal some instinct with Hot Simp. Well now, that should be enough for today. I think we're gonna play it safe. But Reddened buddy. Vav. 4 to 8 red damage, which we absolutely experienced. Outcome is 18 to 22, 10 to 17, 0 to 9. Very, very receptive to repression, which is actually a relatively good thing for us, considering we don't have many ways to level that up. And very receptive to attachment, but with a very small chance to lower the Quickloth counter, of which is 4. Also, interestingly, a right... Ugh. Dude, what? Why is that weapon so goddamn strong? Also, double Aleph.
Are you joking me?
Okay, there's something very wrong with this abnormality. And I'm not saying that, like, as, like, a balance standpoint. I'm saying that as, I'm getting some freaking White Knight vibes all of a sudden. Like, this abnormality does not seem bad. And its Quickloth literally did not go down the entire time we were working on it, including that one attachment. It also has normal damage to everything, which is fine. That means it's a relatively bulky abnormality. It's not super resistant, it's not super weak. Yeah, I'm mainly looking at that freaking Aleph weapon, which is, you know, it is red damage. 100 to 140. Very cool. Slow speed. It better be the slowest speed on the planet with that. It has pale resistance? Dude, it's almost as good as Justitia. Okay. I'm worried about this thing all of a sudden. 205 boxes, 110 boxes. Well, if he's that good at repression, I mean, technically we could just work on repression for, like, the rest of the day and just see how it goes. I'm debating doing that. Actually, it's a good way for Caius to finally get high justice, because his stats are super high, but justice has been something we've been suffering on quite a bit. It's also really good for both Joy and Sombor as well. This can be a really good place to farm justice. I'm going to bring Sombor over. We're going to do one more work for the day. And while we're at it, we may as well just get a little bit of justice here. And a little bit more attachment here. And then I'm thinking that should be our day. However, I do also want to get a little bit of stats with you. So let's send Sam over to do some insight. Okay, took some damage, but overall, not the worst thing in the world. Counter didn't even go down. Jeez. That is a... Okay. We'll need to see that weapon in action, because 100 to 140 is the highest I've ever seen. I don't think there's actually anything even remotely close to that in the base game. I don't even think White Knight's weapon... Well, okay, then again, White Knight's weapon is like, what, 22 to 28 pale? Ha. Well, alright, that's the end of the day. No one is dead, and 2 quests have been completed. All in all, pretty good day. Sombor went from 74 to 79. Not Ayan went from 77 to 79. 87 to 89. Mal went from 87 to 89. James went from 68 to 78. 77 to 78. Picoj went from 62 to 67. 64 to 65. Sleepy went from 81 to 82. Hot Simp went from 84 to 92. 89 to 92. 86 to 83 to 86. 58 to 60. Caius went from 46 to 53. Marcos Jr. went from 63 to 75. 69, nice, to 75. Sam went from 67 to 69, 68 to 67, 62 to 65, 49 to 52. Myra went from 23 to 29, 27 to 32. Crimson went from 71 to 86, 71 to 74, 89 to 94, 82 to 81 to 92. Kyle went from 63 to 67, 78 to 87. Wonder Arc went from 35 to 43, 36 to 44, 33 to 43, and 30 to 41. I'm kind of hoping we get a magical girl, honestly. Oh no. That seems bad. This is a yin-yang thing. Oh, crap. This is a yin-yang situation. Oh, I knew it was too simple. A wolf is about. A wolf is about. And we pick another one. Oh, boy. If you feel an abdominal pain and a tingling sensation in your neck, the best thing you can do now is look at the great blue sky you'll never see again. This is Hornet Queen. This is a forest full of hearts. No matter how many he cuts down, the forest still remains dense. We are not taking Woodsman. Its memories began with a warm hug. Oh my god, these all suck. These are terrible. I mean, Happy Teddy is probably the easiest to deal with, though. Yeah, I think Happy Teddy is the easiest to deal with, so we'll take that, but I'm not happy about it.
Mankind has long sought to create a rich world. Doesn't it just mean everything except the fertility of all of them? Are the stories of all the trouble and confusion worth it? Many started telling stories and left. During the process, they gradually lost their confidence. Feel other things, we see it, other things that can be perceived. At some point, a new civilization was born. Many times, no changes have been made. With the advent of new technologies, each wing is a world leader in at least one function. That's how they wanted these things. I want people to be like this, to create the fertile technology of today's world as it was before. People want a better world. For a better world, this goal introduced a new glass ashtray. And the answer is really happy that we cannot live, or all of us.
It was like sort of making sense, and then it just had to fall apart, didn't it?
One thing is certain. So today, I cannot tell you wrong.
Most of the conversation today seems to be about staff.
And he always seems to be more motivated. It is rare to see a fascinating and lively atmosphere.
You have. The law does not exist.
Okay. I guess it doesn't here.
He is a little worried about many things. Thanks to the new director, nothing is special to us.
Please understand, Perez T. These messages are from Lobotomy Co. Ltd. Are rare in addition to the frequency discussed news. Employees talk about everything that is necessary.
Therefore, it works more efficiently in less time. It gets their noise that I do not know the importance of these countries.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Wait for your first carrots.
This is the first time.
Not the first, but without success, without emotion. Remember how the managers of 95% of their employees were guaranteed to save the mental state of corruption?
Of course I remember. I'm not sure. You saved them.
So I'm sorry the employee is dying.
What? I am very happy with my victory of making an employee insane, I guess. And the results are always the same, but still valid.
Yes, but it is not in the factory at the same time.
What do you think he is losing? Winning is fun.
But do not bet. I always trusted her. I thought that could be it.
I always wanted to win.
If time is unlimited, I think only today's hope is true. What do you think, Director?
Dreams do not assume.
The attitude can be reversed. I don't know. Well, dreams do not assume. They simply are.
Even if they... What? Even if they tell you what you want me to live.
What?
I always believed in you, but I do not think it's me anymore, unless it's those days.
Oh boy. What do we deem most dangerous? What damage types do all this stuff deal? Let's see. Scarecrow deals black. Fragment of the Universe deals white, I think? Dog deals red. I guess red, honestly, because if Little Red gets out, that's kinda... She deals a lot of red damage, and that would have saved Sally had we actually had it. So let's do that. Not to mention, something tells me we might need red for a certain little doggo. Okay, so now we need to put everyone back in their position. So... What? Ooh, another Vav! It's literally a yin-yang thing. Oh, very cool. Alright, well, let's get everybody back into position, and then I want to see what the new Vav is, and then we'll go back to the lobby. If you're wondering why I sometimes will go into the day and then back out of the day immediately, it's actually so I can save. That way, just in case the game crashes or something goes wrong, we can just, bank on the fact that we had a save and we could just redo the day, essentially, which, luckily the game hasn't crashed this playthrough, but it has crashed in the past, and that has been very crappy for me, so I'm just playing it a little bit safe, especially since we're doing modded stuff. You never know with modded stuff, but
Okay, let's get everyone back to where they should be.
Wow, all crimson. Oh boy. That looks like Little Red. Okay, well... End the day with Quitbloth level 7 or lower. It's a tall order. I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, but it is a little bit of a tall order. So, presumably, we have to worry about these two connecting in some way. And, there's also Happy Teddy to worry about now, who's an HE. Not that he's the most dangerous thing in the world, but we just kind of have to keep in mind that, whoever worked with him last can't really work with him again. Or it's like every 2? Oh boy. I don't remember if it's 1 or 2. We'll play it safe. Everyone will only work with it once, and then we'll just, play it safe that way, but... Okay. We saved. Debatably got way worse stuff. Well, I did it to myself for wanting to save and get a little peek. So, here's a question. What do we do to work on you? Insight is winsight, I guess? Hang on. If little blue is not present, produce less. Whenever little blue talked about itself, the Qwiploth counter decreased. I don't So whenever little blue talks about little blue, the Qwiploth counter goes down. Of reddened buddy? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Maybe it will, but for the moment, it makes exactly 0. So what we're gonna do, I'm actually gonna have Maxwell work on Little Blue and see how that goes. Obviously, I hope it goes well, but you never know. Okay, Maxwell, insight is winsight. Oh, he talks about a random abnormality. Like, he's talking about Letitia. He's talking about one sin. He's talking about the book. He's talking about Little Red. I see. So you kind of want to work with him quickly, then. 4, 8, 12, 16. When the work result was good, the counter lowered with a medium probability, except if the work was repression. Oh no. When Little Blue wasn't worked on for over a minute, its Qwiploth counter lowered. Oh boy. It's one of these. It's one of these. It's one of these. When the work result was normal, Qwiploth counter lowered with a low probability, except if the work was repression. Committing repression work on Little Blue increased the counter. What's the downside? There is a downside in there somewhere. You don't just one does not simply increase the counter for no reason. There's more to that. Okay, well, Reddened Buddy hasn't gone down yet, so... Oh boy. You never quite forget the feeling of encountering a new abnormality with a potentially corporation-ending gimmick. It's just something you don't forget. So, I think Little Red is gonna have to deal with Little Blue, or a dog. Which, to be fair, she deals with the wolf, so it's close enough. Okay, then, let's just see what we can do then, huh? Jeez, over a minute, so that's... Yeah, legit. It's a White Knight thing! I hate it! Well, I guess not just White Knight, but that's the biggest one that comes to mind. But 2 Vavs... Okay, well... Repression work increased it. During work, when an employee brought up a certain abnormality within the facility... Oh, I see. So, whenever dog is brought up, dog's Qwiploth lowers. Let's see. When the Qwiploth counter reached 0, dog's Qwiploth counter lowered by 1 every 20 seconds. During this, repression work can be done on dog. Wait. Okay, this is getting confusing. Hang on. So, this Reddened Buddy is 6. Blue is 5. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Every time Blue brought up dog, counter lowered. Now, when Blue's Qwiploth reaches 0, Dog's Quiploth lowers by 1 every 20 seconds. During this, repression work can be done on Blue to commence a duel. When the duel was won, F0436 was suppressed. When the duel was lost, Blue breached containment. When Blue breached, Dog's Quiploth counter was instantly set to 0. F0157 was aggressive to both. Who is F0157? Is that Little Red? Yes, actually. Interesting. Little Red does not like either of them. That works in our favor, actually. I think. So, hang on. So it really is like a... Actually, you know what? They're reversed. Little Blue, Little Red. Red and Buddy, will be Bad Wolf, who is blue. Interesting. So they're like parallels of each other, but not quite. So much to keep track of. Oh, that's a corporation for you. There's a lot to keep track of. Okay, let's have berries come on that. And then I want to get one of these, because I forgot to get them sooner. There we go. Letitia is maxed out from this point on. So, if one escapes, the other escapes. Basically? I think that's what I'm understanding. So, if Doggo escapes, Blue gets upset. If Blue gets upset, then Doggo escapes. I think. Little bit confusing, but I think I understand, at least to some extent. Okay, well, we're gonna try and do Tifrith's quest, although it's gonna be a little bit iffy today. Ideally, though, we are able to pull it off. If we get a dawn event directly into a noon event, that would actually be really, really good for us. Let us see. The Blue Smocked Shepherd. 19 to 21 is good, 11 to 18 is normal, and 0 to 10 is bad. However, he seems to only like repression. Oh boy. Maximum Quiploth counter of 2. Takes normal from red, endured, and weak to pale. About what you would expect. A very, very good combat face gift, which looks like a muzzle. A black katana, 8 to 10 damage, fast speed, medium range, Vav. And then a Vav suit with red at 0.5, white at 0.8, black at 0.5, and pale at 1.5. All in all, this is like some pretty solid stuff for both of them. Red and Buddies is obviously a little bit better, but that's okay. All in all, it is still solid nonetheless. I have been trying to avoid Happy Teddy like the absolute plague, but you know, there's only so much we can do. Now, Tifrith is allowing us to go a little bit further in the day, so I think what we're going to do, we're actually just going to spend a majority of these days trying to get as much progress in Readied Buddied and the Blue Smocked Shepherd as we can. Because if we could potentially start getting their ego suits and gifts and weapons and whatnot, that's going to be really, really helpful for us. We already have Red and Buddy's suit. We only need that amazing weapon. And we need both things for Shepherd. 120, that's not impossible. It's not exactly easy, considering we're just spamming repression the entire time. But, you know, it should be okay. And then we can obviously work on whatever is going to melt down. And then I think that's just going to be the rest of this day. I'm going to get as far as we can, probably to 6 out of 7, with like only a box or 2 missing. That's the goal. Obviously, I don't know if something will go wrong, but that's our goal right now. And it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibilities. Although there is something I'm noticing, and that's their ever stacking debuff of bad work results. So, you know, it maybe not the easiest thing in the world, but not impossible either. Also, his stacking debuff kind of works to our advantage, because if it gets low enough, we can actually do instinct, insight, or attachment and still get a relatively low score. As long as it's bad, there's literally no chance that it goes down. So, in a way, we kind of want to deal with him a lot. And then as for this one, well, you know, we're just kind of hoping that we don't get unlucky with the shepherd. Okay. Boom. Boom. And then... boom. Oh yeah. That right there is a job well done. That being said, it's time to end today's day. Nobody died, and a 3rd quest completed. You love to see it. I'm just going to scroll through their stuff. Basically, everybody got a lot of repression, and not much else changed. So, you know, that's fine. Normally, I read it out, but considering I basically just read it out, and not much has really changed other than repression, I figure it's not that big of a deal. The smiling face is unfamiliar yet sorrowful. Oh my god, please tell me that is not Mountain already. Sadness says, "Be gone, pass away." But greed seeks eternity, seeks deep, deep eternity. I am coming to you, you who will be reduced to ash like me. Well, I did say I regretted not taking King of Greed, considering how easy it is to suppress. I guess this is our second chance for it, huh? I mean, you basically just use Fortitude and Repression, and it's like... it's really simple. Even if King of Greed does get out, which, of course, does happen, it is King of Greed, it's not the hardest to suppress, it's just time-consuming. You kind of have to look for the right angles, you know what I mean? I guess we could do it. That's another VOV, though. I don't... we're kind of... But we get debatably the best red weapon in the game. And we get another way to farm up repression. I am so gonna regret this. Well.
Do you know if the cactus is there, or if the food is on the table? They seem to be people who want to be near you. I hate it when I talk to...
What? Alright, yeah.
I hate it when I talk to a cactus. There are many reasons to land on an island. Roses, thorns, but the bad guys do what is dirty, cannot be as it was. This will not only bring valuable juices like maple. I have never seen flowers. Science that thrives in the right environment. I have never seen an opportunity that cacti know little about in the whole world. What? What do you think the cactus flower? If you can, it could be something like that.
If you can.
I just talked to you.
I'm a cactus?
So, if you are not sure, this alone will save you. This sun is not over. Am I the one living with you?
If you are looking for Tifareth... Wow, I actually almost got the name right. Tifareth. And you are still in the meeting. I cannot say very well. Sometimes they want a more talkative movie. Hey, I have a question. Have you seen memories and emotions that disappear and flow from us? As you can see, we are machines, but they are wrong, and they are happy. There are still weaknesses. What is in the hearts of these men? If there is something, for what purpose? What are some of them? Incomplete and congenital defects. I was looking for answers, but I do not really know. And such an answer is possible. It is written somewhere in your mind. Is this the cause of the defect? We are machines, but not machines. Car.
Hello, you have no luck. It's hard to have fun while talking.
When he changed... Hello, I am here now. When he changed, it was not the same. Shorter lessons.
But what do you do with it?
That's why we want to waste smart assets. I think I have to explain it in the movie.
Ha 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 ha! I'm not going to do a very loud laugh as Tifera. That would kill my voice. Seriously.
The human heart is weak here. There are quite a few who can join us.
But not so seriously. Compared to the big layoffs and the bold ones, we find the unique one.
The result of the unknown. The scene is not picturesque.
Remember that there are many... Will they eliminate the administrator on the computer? You just have to replace them. That is, if you can do whatever it takes. They are classified as B exchange tippet. Tippet.
They cannot do that. Account for the appointment of HR manager of Lobotomy Creation Corporation.
Let's go together, store, when I hate a few hundred.
I know this place.
This shows what we are talking about. It will not always work here.
I did not say that. I remember the last time it happened.
Good job. Thanks as always for your help.
Black. Yep. That should do us. Ay, ay, ay. I know for a fact I am going to regret taking King of Greed. Well, what else is there to be done about it? At least we have the clock in what I consider to be one of the best spots. I know I'm gonna regret this, but at the same time, her stuff is just so good, and if we can get it, we're like set with just, well, Red Dead. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna equip people with the brand new gear, and then I think we are just going to continue. What is Tifereth's quest today? Pass a day with a Quiploth meltdown of 6 or lower. Considering we're doing okay on stats, I'm actually totally fine with just doing that. One of the biggest person we actually need stats for is Myra, who has not been getting very much stats. And as far as people, we're actually looking pretty good. Although we are starting to hit that point where we are going to start creating the clone, because even though with all the people we have, and we're not missing that many slots, we are starting to run a little bit thin. You ready to see the absolute best luck you've ever seen in your life? Well, here it comes. When it was normal, lowered with a normal probability, bad, lowered with a high probability, and then just stayed behind her. I was actually expecting her to bust out literally first thing. Like, we've worked on her twice, and I was expecting her to already be out. But luckily, that didn't quite happen, so we're good. At least, you know, for the moment. So, I'm not too concerned about Red and Buddy and, Blue Smocked Shepherd, because maybe this is a glitch. I don't know. If you start working on Red and Buddy, and then you work on Blue Shepherd, even if he talks about the dog, this doesn't go down. What happened? I'm not actually sure what the heck is going on with the dog. Talked about itself. When employee committed attachment work, there was very low chance for the quit block counter to decrease. When the counter hit 0, Red and Buddy morphed into a wolf. If he was present, it regenerated all injuries extremely quickly. If it eats an employee, dealing a certain amount of damage. Red and Buddy returned when either it lost a duel or was suppressed. But why are you, like, beat up? Is it because the counter went down? I guess the counter's never gone down before. Oh, is it like the freaking, Black Swan, where the appearance changes every time this goes down? That might be the case. I mean, is it because we're just spamming repression? That'd be interesting. Well, what happens if we do attachment, then? Because it makes a big stink about attachment, but yet attachment's, like, better than repression, which repression is what I've been spamming. So what if we were to do attachment? Let's wait for him to get a little bit closer as soon as he gets in the hallway. Okay. Now, let's come work on him with Crimson. Okay, she should get there before he melts down. Very cool. His counter will go back up no matter what. Oh. The dog is, like, still beat up. I don't understand what's going on. Oh, by the way, see? He's talking about the dog. See? Clearly. Talked about the dog. Counter didn't go down. So, I don't know if that's a bug or what, but I'm willing to say it is a strategic oversight that we should be making use of. That's what I'm going to call it. Ivanko can go into the bunker. We can have someone work on this. Are there any stats we need to increase? Actually, Instinct with Caius. Yep, that should be perfect. Any other meltdowns in the facility doesn't look like it. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a walk, but I actually want Joy to come down here and do temperance work on King of Greed. It should be fine. Weird. I want to see if the dog changes appearance after doing attachment work. Even if the counter goes down, that should be fine. Okay, his counter went back up to 2. Very cool. And attachment work did not change the look of the dog. So I'm not fully sure what's going on there, but I'm led to believe whenever this counter lowers, the appearance changes just like with Black Swan. So we will need to be mindful of that. Okay, Ivanka wasn't in there for too long. Oh, there's so much to keep track of. Okay. It's alright. Nothing bad has occurred, so we are fine. We're completely fine. Nothing's wrong. You know what? Does Myra... Or no, Myra takes extra damage to Black. I was gonna say, maybe we could send her to work on Child of the Galaxy. However, I don't think we can, because her stats simply aren't high enough, and she's taking additional Black damage, which is not fantastic. So I guess let's do Repression again. This time with Wonder Arc, who already has the freaking gift. Okay, 2% chance. Easy. Works for me. Yeah, no, that works for me. Okay, Kyle's getting ready to go in there. Let's send Crimson back to work with you. Speaking of Crimson, we do need to max out her stats at some point. She is wearing all of the doggo stuff, mainly because the coat seems like something she would wear based on her Ruina outfit. And then the giant knife, I mean, she likes bleed, so... Or rather, she likes being a bleed build, so, you know, just made sense to me. Okay, so they're both being worked on, should be fine. King of Greed should be going well. And then we want to try and get PK into here to lower his SP whenever we can. It would help if we got another abnormality that also lowers SP, but, you know, the chances are not always the highest. There we go. Okay. So we're definitely going to stop at 5. 5 out of 6 for the Quiploth counter. But, I mean, we may as well just get some progress while we're in. Because, you know, progress. Oh my god! Freaking Kyle took a lot of damage there. He's okay, though. He's sticking it out. Maybe we shouldn't have Kyle work on Doggo, though. That was way too much damage for my liking.
Heart thoughts from the furnace of emotions. Memories, experience, sadness, joy, and more sadness. A stronger emotion is stronger than a push. Thanks to the efforts of many, robotics has become what it is today. The rest of what was observed in the experiments to be performed. We hired a lot of people to try, as we do today, to find new employees. First, there is no specific way. Then, it slowly takes shape. In fact, I discovered this change while studying. With these skills, living, working, and industry are minimal. All you need is a lot of energy. Where else to look? The astronauts injured their heads. He is left to turn to fill all the hatred that becomes his subconsciousness. Think about it. Ask for feedback from the patient. Do you really want to know A?
Man, this is like the most perfect screenshot. This is it. This is perfection.
Of course. I really do not know.
I don't know.
Do not think about this crisis. Honestly, I have no choice if you want to see it. Of course, I talked to A. After a long journey, I finally returned. How do you think to greet him? What do you think about the attacking coach? You just have to be more discriminating with the help you render toward other people. Itching, a smile, and a thirst, but rather complex human emotions in a range more than mine. But what do you know about the basics? A. If this area is quite sophisticated and seemingly human. I am not the only one who meets this standard. I never told you. A. I'm not very good here. It is not important to be a witness to the nature of all things. Things you see that cannot be completely destroyed and filtered. Everything is here for you. I will understand better when I say... when I say this tippeturt.
So stupid.
This is real.
What stupid question? What do you think is the empty What do you think is the empty difference between... Through this eternal game of my stupid face. Honestly, it's mostly boring. But you have a good laugh with me to express your own expression. And he thought of nothing but that I was one of them.
Wow, that was a hard sentence. Okay.
Except for what you have and what I... Who's the malfunctioning one here? Except for what you have and I will not be at the same time in the future. Thanks for the silly review by A. Morales.
To continue.
When we are born, when and where to return. Otherwise, if the Serenity sang a song. It is our wish that the next version be available.
I'm ready, Tippeturt sent you this.
Thanks, Angela.
Oh my god. Oh, I remember this from the original playthrough. Having them both in the same room is terrible. Okay. Let's do Mark without doing Tippeturt. So stupid. Ugh.
I was not in the meeting room no, This isn't even the right voice. Ah, I knew that was gonna happen. I was not in the meeting room when I found him. Where's Marcut? Fortune requested more documents to bring back Bacillus subtilis.
Mark is casting a spell.
However, it does not seem to exist. There was an immediate question. Luck can appear next to them. He said Fortune was more or less busy. I will meet you later. Why aren't you busy with Fortune? Don't want to move? But I'm happy with this job. Oh, I want to replace Tippeturt now. The circle is smaller than it looks. Packed t-shirt. Do not worry. Use your laptop carefully.
Yep.
As it seems in every season, the look is damaged. This is. Thank you for your interest. Director, I'm glad to know you.
I have my fan on, sorry.
Nice to meet you.
You can skip the Tipworth rating. It's time to reconsider Strongholds' plans.
Everything is fine.
What happened?
Now what? Oh, I threw the car, and how are we? If the previous error has not completely disappeared, a new error may occur. And that finally confuses me. It was not the two of us at the same time with the I in the central adopted command.
Adopted command.
I will always have the feeling that you do not need two or more here.
Have you noticed that deep scars on the floor? Director, that the first time will not say anything. Of course, anger really wants you. At the same time, I want to consume the mind of the wrath of the curse. It is written. This eliminates the need to make him work for large sums of money. This structure has a bit of backup when someone from violent anger, Sephiroth. I do not know what is more profitable to perform my duties. Even if they do, some great. The seeds break this cycle.
Elias?
Oh, hello. Sorry, I'm a little busy. I read the books I wrote in a half. Hello.
Oh, I know my Malkuth voice is so wrong right now, but I'm just not able to get out of Tiphrith's voice.
I like the experience of organizing. But when the members of the list with my full name do not appear, well, there are many reasons. Insufficient data. On the other hand, can I get receipts? I learned a lot here. I will help you know how to get out. When I see you coming down. Hello, carrots. Ah! Why is it carrots? That's why it's not enough to have talent, right? What is no one looking for you? I do not know you. I do not care what you look like. In conclusion, I guess you should know what you are already doing. Have you ever scratched the floor or twisted your fingernails? It really hurts. However, it is important not to feel anything on your nails. As I walked over to you and saw the nails of the past swell. When they left, they began to feel that he had been mocked. Even if it is not good. The shadow of his feet is visible on the floor when you appear. Because whoever takes me out of the curve is there. While someone who does not want to look around when it will end. Did you see that it is a bit of despair? Or a nail stuck to the floor you are looking at? And now I see clearly that nothing was insufficient at all. I did not know this feeling without you. Thank you very much. Manager, what are you doing? Have you experienced the power?
The power of lethargy.
It's just awful that you can't pull them off helplessly. And so does your body. Then come and see me. And you think about some benefits.
Oh my god, A's name is 1. Okay.
But she could... He? I guess... Well, I suppose if Malkuth is named Mark, I guess. But he could not. With his impatience, and I made many mistakes. Through a long and utter irony, I have to argue what I have that I remember, but because they are not isolated cases. Someone has to say that I have not seen his work yet. There is a desire for a new connection. But they are still around, and cannot hear their quick steps. So I do not think you can reach one of the strengths of the legs. Yes, all the changes in the script and requested it were made in the theme. I know I'm not ready to think about human consumption. After I knew what was happening, half of his teeth fell out.
Please kill me. Kill me.
Ignore it. Oh god, that sounds so much more brutal. Not even considering Malkuth to be like a person at that point.
Oh, do you really? Oh my god, what is that voice I'm doing? Oh no, that is not right. That was more like a child. Well, I suppose that's not wrong, but, still. Oh, do you really feel and not some of them?
Take anchor, Farron. Open yourself to the eyes of your enemies and to them.
I want to know that you are not as weak as any other Sephiroth. It is important, and as it arises from the situation.
Gabriel, why do you rub your body so much?
Ahem. Oh boy. The directors and General Assembly are looking back. We have to do our job. If you are not too busy, I am grateful. The team is now given to everything. Note that the violation started with the exception of injury. Some of our employees, due to the abundance of assembly, require full knowledge of this contract for safety reasons. There is only one employee in the name. His steps. What happened was a terrible death. His desperate thirst for life, because of all fake, deleted data files. Cannot find entries that meet the criteria. No, I'm starting to sound more like Pluto by the moment. I need to get more nerdy and less sophisticated. The universe was... No, I literally didn't change at all. Okay, great. This is what happens when freaking Pluto and About sound identical. The universe was not created by us, but other things are obvious. If received an order for information, this is not funny. We belong to a department that destroys data and handles it when necessary, but we call it red data. Every time Sapir presents you to group information, it's a bit like it hasn't fallen.
We are sorry. In the identity document you got married to. You will soon receive a list of employees. Fill in the lists.
Many cannot move their limbs. Maria, what is the meaning of a man as far back as I can remember?
This is a normal job. Is that why he is excited?
Maybe because it is a sign of the memory braid of deformed animals. Angel sent for some reason.
We are sorry. Take a break because you are tired.
What do you know? We do not recommend the use of suggested names. At the first meeting, the individual employee is assigned to the same employee unit. This is necessary to determine the experience of your company with minimal personal data. Number of storage devices. She does not mention him for his Malkuth. He is not here because he has done great things. Maybe this is a model of Sephiroth. Marks, who hates pain. Because who is with us to achieve it? How wise are yesterday's metal body for several days? I ask for an appeal. What is this image memory? Nothing comes to mind, because we are inspired by one of the architects who is responsible for the created objects. The only thing I do not remember the name of the employee I forgot to despair here forever. At least one breath. Guinea pigs do not like walking? Oh, I told you, he is very lazy.
Gabriel is more sensible than the others. Then he heard from Elijah, but did not move. Others say they do not feel sorry. No one is red alone. It had gone too far from the beginning in which Carmen left this world. It was not really an expression for me. It does not make her happy. But those who do not want to open a book, and the dragon that was created, and if I do not, I come into this world. It took me a long time to get home. What to do? He knew that the one who is most destructive, not to Tycho for this purpose, tries to destroy people so as not to destroy him.
Yep. That sounds fine.
He tried to see a positive attitude, but to get closer to the faithful. This is a persistent effort. She started wearing a long-sleeved dress that covers her neck. A little later, he began to worry. It is recommended that you have a medical examination. We are not completely infected, but we refuse. Creating a purpose. A medical examination may no longer be necessary to harm someone. Knowledge is obsessive, and coercion leads to violence. Handcuffs during the examination and shackles are necessary. Big problems, but it was difficult, and for us, we can understand that. Then what will not be infected and will make him crouch? Really happy, right? Fan. However, the comments are not certain. It still rubs. The hardest part is worse than before. But when he saw the body of the deceased, and the current argument was not completely covered by scratches, he did not know either. After that, no one saw it.
Do not worry. AJs are the first general side effect of enkephalin. It looks like an illusion. Rest assured that in some cases, this will not happen. You will not see anything else. Employee, but the facial expression is half melted. He asked me why I lowered my head.
This is supposed to mean an illusion.
What happened? Will this worker be resurrected suddenly?
Surprisingly, however, nothing could be a dead worker progress.
Say nothing, but they are not very nice. Do I want to miss today's meeting?
To do this, I cannot. I have no choice. Now I have to train to deal with disaster.
It really is. I think there is someone who cares about what you do. The Sapira employees.
Good? Look, Tiffany. Right. I'm a good man. Good, Sephora.
Don't let Sheeta hear about that one.
Hello.
Oh my god. I can actively feel my brain cells jumping out of my head at this.
Hello today.
Are you trying to stay in good taste?
Students who suffer from abnormal reactions.
How many times have I spoken to you? You just do it on rusty pieces of human feces. You... rusty? How did you manage that one?
Now I want to get your attention. The purpose of this would be different from others who believe today.
If you want to lie to soften your awareness, you cannot really be selfish.
I will explain my thoughts on this. I listen.
At least one person with low levels of violence to admit impartially.
Calm? I'm sorry. Where are you?
Latest issue. Okay, a newspaper is talking to her.
Unfortunately, the Alliance has a question.
What is?
Don't you think it could not be a different exercise? In other words, if you look at the birds, you feel that you have decided to live and who it is and who does not even need to change it.
You can achieve better than nothing. Besides, instead of waiting, you can take precautions.
Happiness. It may even take a day when we work better and more comfortably.
This is all you know. Nothing can go to heaven.
I agree with you people. Coaches and sports.
Triumph from the advice of every morning thorn of what conveying what I speak. I want to rest. I make this process just be just a part.
It will be repeated over and over again. It is always a sad sadness that I am a metal band.
I can handle it. If you do not fight them, then everyone dies, right? Thank you very much. Is Marx complaining because you do not want to lose? Am I not saying he is bad?
Does he finally agree that personality teeth are terrible? What?
Tiffany, what have you done to me? Tiffany is not looking at me. I understand you more. That way, though, are you angry?
When I read Mark Death's article, I felt that this was the beginning of an experiment to show progress. When you were younger for us, he is the one who was deaf, shy, and hard-working. Simple. Maybe the fate of the farmers will use it to warn us with wings, or boss. You can be sure that not everything is the same as before. We are waiting to die young and passionate. I did not expect the situation to worsen than I expected. Take the time to prove that you have just arrived, and look at this world right now. There is no other way out. But Carmen is someone who wants to change the world. After all, are you showing me mercy if it fits in the grave?
Crash! Alrighty. Well, I believe with that is going to do it for this episode.
Of Lobotomy Corporation.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed. There was a lot of reading in this episode. Even though we did not get through Tiphrith, we unlocked 3 core suppressions, which I think we're going to attempt to do in the next episode. Which, obviously, who knows how it'll go. But we're going to give it our best shot, and that is the best that we can say. So, I don't think we're going to do proving your competence today, or I guess for the next... Okay, today, tomorrow, and the next day. Because, ideally, we're just able to smash out all 3 core suppressions in quick succession.
Because that's going to be very, very useful to us.
Debatably, training team is just going to be the best for, a good early start. Or at the very least, it's going to be good for the clones. But we're still going to try and get as far as we physically can. I don't actually fully remember what the reward for the control team and information team is. Which I know is kind of funny, like, but I don't remember. I remember what training and safety is. And then temperance is relatively obvious. But we're just going to give it our absolute best shot that we can do in the next episode. A part of me thinks Little Red might come into play to helping us out, but we're gonna see. We're gonna try and push through it, and we're just gonna see how it goes. Hopefully, we don't lose anybody, but considering we got to day 25 without a single death, with me playing literally as sweaty, protective, as possible, the fact we got to day 25 with no deaths, to me, is extremely impressive. But, it had to change at some point, so it's probably going to change
In the next one.
So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you
In the next one.
again. And also, if you want any characters, be sure to let me know. I will try and keep them alive for as long as I can, or they will get a ton of stat upgrades and get a 2% drop chance immediately. So, you never know. Also, you don't have to write diaries for your characters. Obviously, if you want to, that's great. I would enjoy reading it, and I'm sure Crimson or Sally, depending on who's alive, would very much like to interact. In Crimson's case, whatever. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling to myself. My brain is so just melted from reading all their dialogue that I'm just, I'm starting to think that I'm Google translated. Bye.